Before you buy a motorcycle dash cam, 4K on the box matters less than you'd think. What actually decides whether you can read a plate is the sensor, and how it handles glare, headlights, and rain at road speed. To land on these 5, I ruled out plenty that record fine in daylight, then stop saving once the card fills, or quit after one wet season. They also split on install effort. Some mount on the bars in minutes, others mean pulling fairings. By the end, you'll know which one fits your bike. Let's get into it. Starting at number 5, the INNOVV K6 dual-channel dash cam. And I'm going straight to the weak spot, because it's the one that matters most for why you're buying a camera in the first place. Reading plates while you're moving is hit or miss. The front camera shoots at 2K, and the picture itself is clean. You'll see cars, lanes, signs, faces of the situation. But at road speed, plate digits sit right at the edge of what 30 frames a second can resolve. And a commuter who wired it and specifically as insurance backup said exactly that. Great image. Plate's just slightly too fine. So why is it still in this video? Because everything around that one limitation is done right. The DVR, which is the brain that actually writes the files, is built into the front camera body instead of sitting in a separate box under your seat. That means no seat removal, no fairing surgery, no hunting for a dry cavity to hide electronics in. On a naked bike or a scooter where there's nowhere to hide anything, that's the difference between an afternoon job and a weekend job. And the metal housings are rated IP67, so half a meter of water for half an hour. Riders report it holding at real highway speeds without the mounts drifting, and vibration is what kills cheap kits first. One thing to budget for, you need a U, 3, or V30 micro SD card, not whatever you have in a drawer. A slower card crashes the software and the unit runs hot. The instructions call it a suggestion. Treat it as a requirement. So this one's for the rider who wants front and rear coverage that disappears into the bike and starts on its own with the ignition. If plate detail at speed isn't your whole reason for buying, it does the job. Current pricing is in the description. Now, if a hidden system makes you wonder whether it's even running back there, the next one answers that from the saddle. At number 4, the VSYSTO Q3 dual camera system with the wired controller. What pulls me to this one is that little handlebar remote. Most bike cameras leave you guessing whether the thing is actually recording. This one puts a small screen in your line of sight, and if the recorder hiccups, the controller buzzes at you until you notice. There's also a button that locks the clip on both cameras at once, so when something happens in front of you, you protect the file right then instead of hoping the G-sensor caught it. And the picture is where buyers land hardest in its favor. The common thread is that the front and rear image comes out bright and clear for what this costs, which is the whole point. You want usable evidence, not a movie. 2 things to sort out before you order, though. The audio is the softer part of this package, and owners bring that up more than anything else. So if you want engine note or voice commentary, look elsewhere for that. And GPS gets pushed hard in the description, but the module is a separate purchase. Put it in the cart at the same time, or you'll be waiting on a second delivery. Parking monitoring has its own rules, too. It wakes up if someone bumps the bike and records for half a minute. But it needs a proper hardwire to the battery with decent voltage, so a USB feed won't cut it. Same story as the K6 on install effort, except here, you're routing the controller to the bars as well. Bottom line, this fits the rider who wants to see the system working from the saddle and doesn't need audio. If you want to look at it yourself, it's in the description. And if you'd rather have nothing on your bars at all, number 3 was built for exactly that rider. At number 3, the INNOVV K7. And this one is built for a very particular rider, the touring or commuting type who wants the cameras wired into the bike permanently, hidden from view, starting on their own with the ignition, and then never thought about again. If that describes you, keep listening, because everything about this system is shaped around that. Both cameras record at 2K, front and rear, which is a step up in plate detail from the K6 earlier in the video. The bodies are aluminum, rated IP67, and the connectors screw together rather than clip. Buyers keep coming back to how substantial the hardware feels compared to what usually shows up in this category. And the cameras are small enough to tuck away where a thief walking past the bike won't spot them, which for anyone parking on a street matters as much as the footage does. There's a review that gets at why people like this one. I wanted resolution good enough to identify plates, and I did not want another screen on my bars since I already have my phone. Both cameras hide away almost completely on my bike. I have stopped looking for a better setup. That's the whole appeal in one go. Now, 2 things you need to hear before you spend this kind of money, because this is the priciest option in the video so far. Stabilization and 2K are an either or. Turn the anti-shake on and you're recording at 1080 on both channels. So decide up front which one you actually want, sharp plates or smooth video. And the install is a real project. One owner spent about 8 hours on an adventure bike, pulling fairings and routing wire properly. Another opened the box, looked at what tapping the electrical system involved, and sent it back. Neither of them is wrong. This is a hardwire job, not a handlebar clamp, and if you'd rather pay a shop to do it, factor that in. One more thing worth knowing. The live phone preview drops out once you're moving, so aim the cameras while parked and confirm the framing from a recorded clip. And no memory card comes with it, so add a fast one to the cart. For the rider who wants a clean, permanent setup and doesn't mind the afternoon it costs, this delivers exactly what it says. Current pricing is linked below. That said, footage only helps you after the fact. What if the camera behind you could earn its keep while you're still moving? Number 2. At number 2, the Aoocci C6 Pro. And the figure that decides this one is 6.25. That's the size of the touchscreen. In inches, sitting on your bars, running wireless CarPlay or Android Auto while both cameras record. That changes what this thing is. Every other pic in the video hides itself on the bike, and you never see it. This one puts the rear camera live in front of you, so it works like a mirror for the lane behind you while you ride. Not just a file you dig up after something happens. The screen is rated at 1,000 nits, and it dims itself as the light changes. Owners say they can read it in direct sun, and it ships with a sun shield. Both cameras shoot 1080 at 30 frames, 140 degrees front and rear. And buyers are pretty consistent about what that gets you. It's clear enough to document an incident, and it's not going to look like an action camera. Ride footage isn't the job here. There's a review that stuck with me. The tire pressure monitors work well, and they flagged that my pressures were dangerously low the day I installed it. I checked with a separate gauge, and this unit was accurate. The tire pressure and temperature monitoring is built in, and a warning like that is worth more than most features on any spec sheet in this category. Now, that screen doesn't fix the wireless side. Most owners connect fine, but one commuter dealt with pairing dropping every few days, and support kept troubleshooting instead of answering about a firmware fix. Someone else had the 12-volt to 5-volt converter die after a day, though it still ran on USB. Test the hardwired power early, while you can still return it. And figure on a few hours to mount the display, cameras, and wiring properly, more than a camera-only kit takes. It costs more than the others here too, but you're paying for navigation, music, calls, and tire monitoring in the same box. For the touring or commuting rider who wants that information visible while moving, nothing else here does it. Pricing and details are in the description. And now, number 1. It earns the spot on the one thing every rider here is really buying, the detail you can actually use afterwards. And taking the top spot, the Vantrue F1. This one wins because it's the only system here that gives you real 4K on the front without asking you to give up the hidden, always-on setup the rest of these are built around. That resolution matters for one reason: plate readability. Remember the K6 back at number 5, where plates at road speed sat right at the edge of what the sensor could resolve. 4K front recording is how you fix that, and the sensor behind it is a Starvis, which is the low-light part designed to keep detail when the sun goes down. Owners back that up, saying the picture holds up at night, and the wide 160-degree lenses cover more than 3 lanes of traffic without smearing the edges. Now one buyer had a specific worry I thought was smart. He wondered whether 30 frames a second could freeze anything useful at highway speed, since action cameras run much faster. His conclusion after riding with it was that the footage stayed clean even at 70. That's the question a lot of you are quietly asking, and it's answered! The rear camera is 1080, not 4K. And I'd argue that's the right call. It halves the file size on a channel where you mostly need to see what happened, not read fine detail. What I like structurally is that the recorder unit lives inside the bike, tucked away from a crash, while only the small lenses sit outside. Everything is IP67 rated, cameras, cables, and accessories, and the install is more forgiving than you'd expect. One rider had everything wired in about 45 minutes with battery access, though someone with fairings to remove will spend longer. The cables run generous, even on a big bagger. Then there's the wired remote on the bars. One press locks the clip on both channels or grabs a photo without touching the app. Here's my beef, and it's the app. Some owners get quick phone downloads, others sit through slow Wi-Fi transfers and pull the card for a full day of footage instead. If you plan to edit ride videos regularly, know that going in. The card slot itself is sealed under tiny screws, so pulling it isn't a roadside job. And this one costs more than anything else in the video. What you get for that is 18 months of warranty and a support team that, across several accounts, replaces bad hardware quickly and without a fight. On something you hardwire into your motorcycle, that's the part I'd pay for. Bottom line, this is the pick for the rider who wants evidence quality first and doesn't want to think about the system again after install day. If it's the one you want, pricing is linked below. Now you've got the criteria to tell a system that earns its keep from one that just lists specs. If you want the cleanest install on a bike with nowhere to hide a box, number 5 handles that. But if you want the info in front of you while you ride, number 2 is your pick. And if plate detail after an incident is the whole reason you're buying, number 1. Amazon prices go up and down. Check them in the links in the description.